time it ain't worth it. The more the negativity, the more the curses. So let me hit people and let me do the thing. The more we work together, you know we going. It's not a warning, what a statement I'm making. It's a circle we live in. I have to tell you, cause come on. She get your shoes up. What you get, you have to take. What you give is what you get. I said to do good by you and do good by people. To make the universe right. Yeah, do good by you is good over people. To make the universe right.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WeFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so we are back with you for another segment on our Activated Mornings program. In studio, you have Deanna and Relisa, and joining us at this time, we have Mr. Phillip Bastien Wetty Beatz. All right, so good morning to you.
Morning. How things going? Everyone good?
We got the team courage and love. All right, big you up. You sure?
Yeah, man.
How are you doing though?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, the weather just a little hot up here, so you don't know I go.
Yeah, well, over here it seems overcast. It was raining a lot yesterday, but it's overcast today. So yeah. All right. So how have things been going? How is the season? How is everything?
Boy, this season has been a kind of busy one because even now I'm still not finished with like projects and stuff that I have to do. So I've been doing a lot of mixing and mastering, also songwriting and other stuff like that. It's been a bit busy, and it's still gonna be busy until the end of the year because compared to like last year and the year before, I kind of stepped back a little bit. So like this year, I decided, let me just jump back and be more focused and put out a lot of projects, like put out as much project as I can. So yeah, this year is a kind of busy year for me.
Okay. But do you ever really get a break? Because it's just one carnival into another. So
but that's what I'm saying. So like from this year is going to be real rough. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's not only that, but it's like other things in between, because obviously I have like stuff going on in Paris and things like that as well. So it's just in between. So a lot of things happening. So yeah, man.
Okay. All right. So let's take a step back, right? Who is Wetty Beatz?
Well, Wetty Beatz is a humble youth from Union Island, Simmons and the Grenadines. I am a producer, songwriter, audio mixing and mastering engineer. What can I say? I won this Soca Monarch in the UK. I have a title in the UK, and I have a lot of other titles under my belt in terms of as being a producer and stuff like that. So yeah, man, Wetty Beatz is a humble person. So yeah, easy vibes.
All right, so I do have to ask, right? Because when I learned of your surname, I was like, Bastien? I've never heard of a Bastien in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So is a surname that's familiar in Union Island or something? Because I legit never heard Bastien before.
Nah, is my adopted name, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's my adopted name. So the original surname would have been Demba Alexander. So.
Okay. All right. Well, the Bastien has a nice ring to it, given that you're in France and everything. So yeah.
Sure.
All right.
So now I know that we have several persons that carry SVG's name across the world, but Wetty, you have been doing several things. You've been doing it in an amazing way. What does that feel like to you when people know of Wetty Beatz and the great work that he's done, and then you let them know that you're from St. Vincent and the Grenadines? I'm sure you get, where is that? What is that sometimes? What's that like for you?
Well, that's crazy. That's crazy. They only know people know I carry any flag so long outside carrying flag. Only know people realize that. Well, it seems like it's only one set of people that don't carry the flag. But yeah, I it's years now. Listen, I'm in Europe, so well, being in Europe is rough, and at the same time is a blessing because you cannot bring in the culture outside of where it normally would be. Because for example, there's a large diaspora of Vincent and that would be living in Canada or America. But in Europe, then you don't really see that. For example, I'm flying the flag. I go places like I have a show coming up in Germany in next month, right? And you won't see people coming to Germany to go and perform soca and them things there. And the place I reach, like Switzerland and them places there, you don't see people go perform soca and them places. So it's like out here flying the flag, I doing my thing. People don't see, people don't hear because obviously people in tune to something different. People in tune to, the more bigger heads and they don't really take me for granted, you feel me? But yeah, man, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing when you say, yeah, I come from Simmons and the Grenadines, and then man asking you, oh, so where's Simmons and the Grenadines? I'm like, wow, you know the geography, but all right. Yeah, man. It's a good feeling to be flying the flag and otherwise, unknown to people like that. So, yeah.
All right, but Wetty, okay, so explain to us how you ended up in France. Well, I know how you ended up, but why you stayed?
Well,
wait, let me try my French out on you, right? So, parlez-vous couramment le français?
bien sûr que oui, je parle couramment tous les jours.
No, pas don't say that, guys. All right, so you ended up in France, but why did you choose to stay?
Well, France is a nice place. I mean, I have a second language that I know, so that's a plus. And I adapted that there, so it's good. It's good for me to be in France, and I'm back and forth. So I'm in Holland at the moment because my youth is in Holland as well. So it's a good vibe. So I'm back and forth between Holland and France.
Okay.
So I stay because it's a good opportunity for me. I have a studio there. I met people there. I do different stuff. So it's not just bound to one thing. I do a lot of different stuff. So it's good.
All right, I guess all right. With your line of work, you don't have to be necessarily fixed here in the Caribbean. But how has that been, though, in terms of the reception of soca music in Europe? Well, in France, you're saying in Holland as well. How has that reception been like? Because we tend to think that of soca artists to make it big, they need to stay within the Caribbean, or they may have to go to North America if they go into anywhere else. But you're in Europe, so how has that transition been in terms of getting the word out with regards to soca music?
It's been a bit rough, but I always knew. For some reason, I always knew. You see, like how I was the first one to use that sample to do that tune for Skinny, and now David will come and use the same sample and blah blah blah, and then other people like that using it. I always knew for some reason that if we work together and push this soca music thing, right, it will go further than St. Vincent and the Caribbean. It will go further than that. You know what I mean? But if I can speak my mind, this industry is very, how I can say, selfish. So in a sense where if the artists of St. Vincent and the Grenadines come together and say, yo, let's push one another, let's do this, the music will go further because it's not a joke. St. Vincent have a lot of talented artists and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's just that when Carnival done, that's it for them. They'll be honest. When Carnival done, that's it. There's nothing else beyond. Which and while when Carnival done, Wetty Beatz still being played everywhere else, still being streamed. Ask 100 St. Vincent artists how much they saw from their music after Vinci done. They cannot tell you. You understand? I could tell you, but I ain't gonna disclose and blah 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 blah. But it's just saying, is if we work together, I mean, we could always.
Okay. All right. We seem to have lost Wetty there for a second.
Sorry. That was someone was trying to call me.
Okay.
If this good, I mean, it might be a little rough because I might get a lot of calls. Hold on, let me just tell this person don't call back.
Okay. All right, so we are interviewing Wetty Beatz, Phillip Wetty Beatz Bastien, and he is the man who's breaking borders with the beats. All right, so Wetty's back with us.
Yeah, sorry. So what I'm saying, yeah. So if we work together, we can get things done. Cause right now at this moment, you see that I'm not bragging, because I'm not that kind of person. I'm not gonna brag and say I did this, I did that. But you see that year when I brought out that song, "See Family,"
We're gonna
I
talk
was
about
I
that.
was I was trying to make a statement to St. Vincent and tell them this is the wave of music that's going to be coming. And then
Mhm.
nobody took me serious. Which is they never really play my tune, they never blah blah blah. And then when St. Vincent Carnival done, "See Family" became a big tune. And then what do you hear on the radio now? You do not hear no other music than Bouillon on the radio now.
Mhm.
You catch me? And
Mhm.
that's years ago. I trying to tell them, yo, this is the wave of music coming. But I need the same with the Afro thing. When I started it, nobody told me. See, nobody say, and people telling me, discouraging me, telling me, nah, don't do that no because St. Vincent, blah blah blah. And then when they look, so everybody doing it.
But then, would you advocate for us to be changing our sound or to incorporate it?
No, that was never the plan. The
Mm.
plan was to incorporate our song with other stuff, try to mix it and make it so that
Mhm.
it could cross over the water to reach other people. You
All right.
understand?
So since you raised it, right? Because I was going to ask after the end of the interview, right? So
Hmm.
that CA Family is one of our favorite songs, but we have no idea what we're singing, right?
Hmm.
So what is the core? What are the words for the chorus?
Um, CA family is basically saying just do your thing, do what you want, don't care about other people. CA
Mm,
family, don't mix me. Family is like don't mix me up. It's a Creole
okay.
word, right?
Right.
It's a French Creole word. So it's like basically saying you just do you, do your thing, don't worry about
Uh,
them.
we just behave vibes into the song, you know, but we singing our own words because we have no idea what you were singing, right? But we totally love that song, right? We
Yeah,
always
yeah,
vibe to
yeah.
that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, curious question. What do you prefer though? Because you are an all rounder. So, do you prefer writing, producing, singing? What is your actual preference? And do you have a favorite song that you've sung?
Um, I don't have any like favorite songs. I have songs that I love like really really bad, and I prefer all of them at the same time. With with
Okay.
with being a performer leading, okay?
Mhm.
With being a performer leading because first and foremost I like being on the stage, I like entertaining and like singing for people, you know? But I also love being in the studio creating, mixing the song, mastering, and also writing. Cause yeah, when I writing sometime, most time me and like Trini Boy Juicy, when we link up, we always in the studio, we get ideas and the things and then we just come up with the ideas and then it's like not really common thing, like you know what I mean? But it's so that we brain like it in really and the same like we brain is from up so out beyond the atmosphere the way call that thing they oh the
Stratosphere?
dance so right so
Uh,
we braining really from here so we just like try to come up with some things that it's crazy but then you have to realize half of the people ain't gonna catch what you're saying so you have to like come back down here to the earth
mhm.
to try and make it work. But I love all of them together. I love them, but as I say, singing is like leading. Singing and being on stage, you're gonna be out front.
Okay. Well, I would admit you're one of the artists who could do no wrong for me when it comes to music. Eh? So I
Honestly.
just saying. Just saying.
True, true.
And
Thanks,
I
thanks,
didn't
thanks.
realize that you also wrote Watch Thing for Skinny, which is also another one of my favorite songs. So yeah. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So yeah, I wrote and produced Watch Thing for Skinny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and a lot of people don't know because obviously I mean, the artist when he sing his song, he sing it, so people don't really check like go behind and like when you go on YouTube, you just listen to the music. You don't go and like check for the credits and see whatever and blah, blah,
Hmm.
blah. You just listen to the music, you like the song, whatever. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, yeah, man.
Mhm.
I did a lot of writing, a lot of things for people, a lot of people, but people didn't really like know that. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, man.
But is it a case where you think that you're not credited enough, or is it just that the information is not out there enough?
To be honest, I don't really care if I've been credited enough because as I say, I don't really. I as a man like to be here, like just people don't really know, like okay, you do this. I cool with that. I cool with that. As long as I know this song achieved something, as long as I know it went somewhere or it did this, did that, that's fine with me. You
Okay.
know?
All right.
All right. So you've been in music since you were about 5 years old, I think I read. You've been doing
Yeah.
this for a very long time. You have an amazing voice. I'm really excited to be speaking to you here because I've been observing and I think that you have an amazing voice. Well, not just me. I think every song you've done is a hit. I can't think of a song that I listen to it and I'm like, I ain't really feeling this. Your beats, your lyrics, your presentation, everything, right? So with all of that and starting this since you were a child,
Hmm.
what's that been like? How are you feeling at this moment? How much longer do you think you're going to go along with this?
Well, but this is my life, so I do nothing else. And as I say, I'm an all rounder. So if I don't make anything from being on a stage, I can make it from being an engineer. If I don't make it from being an engineer, I can make it from penning. You know what I mean? If I don't make it from penning, I can make it from making beats or something. You understand? So this is really and truly my life. This is like a in a foundation I put down and I want to stay on until But I wouldn't be bound to this because for all your life this is not gonna work. So there'll be other things, like opening a business or something like that to come in behind to just to cement it so that I know, okay, if I don't make it from this, then probably I could have some income coming in from here and stuff like that. You have to think in advance. You have to think think from a future point of view. You have to think about then, But it's been a good and a bad run so far because growing up in Simmons and the Grenadines, like you not really get the recognition, and I ain't afraid to say you know what I mean, because at the end of the day, I ain't nobody don't pay my bills, nobody don't think, you feel me? So I would say it been a rough like time coming up because as an artist, like the radio stations and them never used to like play music like that before unless you have friends or you have this and that. And then Wetty Beatz became Wetty Beatz when he took it elsewhere. You
Yeah.
understand? So when I took it elsewhere and I start producing, like for example, Lava Man with Gal Alone and them thing, that's the year I really like bust out big. Then the cinemas start seeing it different. Like the DJs them start seeing it different. So them man started contacting me, yo, what you see, blah 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 blah. Before he never did that. When I bring my music, when I turn my back a break, you see them straight in the garbage. You feel me?
Mm.
That big man thing. So it's like at this moment, I feel like I've achieved a lot by then. You know what I mean? And showing the youth and them to don't give up because a lot of people I grew up with like doing this thing, like they just fall out like, yeah, this is enough for me, that's enough for me. But I never stop. I just continue going. Because if you don't make it there, make it somewhere else. You feel me?
But,
So yeah.
but would you say that you're living your dream now, though? Does it feel that way, or there's still a lot more that you want to accomplish musically? I know you talk about doing other businesses, but musically, do you think that you are living out your dream in terms of being able to write for different artists? The awards that you have received, etc. How does it feel at this time?
I'll be honest, so before like when you have that favorite person, right? That you always want to meet, and you say, "Boy, I want to meet this person. I want to meet this person," and then you finally meet this person, and you realize, "Yeah, boy, he's cool, man. Yeah, man, whatever." And then you meet the person again. The feeling of being excited,
Mhm.
it go
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
So it's
Okay.
like, yeah, I know
Uh,
I'm already. So yeah, that's it. It's like before when I do my music and my I will like listen to radio to see if they will play my songs. I listen to radio and then you might hear something coming, you like it, and you ask a bit him like, yo, my song gonna play my song, and then whap, it didn't play. And then you're like, huh. And then you start over again. And every day you carry the same thing. And then when your song start playing now, it's like, yeah, okay. You hear this song and then people watching like, what is your song on the radio played? And I'm like, yeah, I hear it every day, so I know it's my song. So it's like it come like the excitement that was there, it is not there anymore. So like working with people who are like I didn't work with before, like at this moment, I'm not surprised to say, oh, I might work with that person, or I might work with that person because it's just only a matter of time, to be honest.
it
So
sounds like you need a new challenge, though, Etty.
well, and I mean, yeah.
That
At
is what
this
it
point,
sounds like. Yeah. Yeah.
mhm, at this point, it could be that, but yeah,
Mm,
it is what it is.
okay. Well, I mean, it's interesting to hear you speak in this way because I don't know, like we rate you. I mean, there are many
Yeah.
persons who rate you. So hearing this side of the conversation is quite interesting. So yeah.
Yeah, no, man. At the end of the day, you just have to be dunked. You come back down towards you, like you know, you
Mm,
can't play you up there and the people them down there otherwise because it's the people and them that is make you who you are. So you have to
mhm,
just be in tune. You feel me? You can't play no bad money walking wrong and you think. I mean, I could have 100 security when I come to Vincent, but at the end of the day, why you doing that for?
mhm,
You feel
mm,
me? They me the
yeah.
same people and them me gonna meet and have the same people and them me enjoying themselves with. So
Mhm,
be normal, be the same people. You feel me? So yeah,
yeah.
man.
You do. All right. So I know that in your bio you are termed as an Afro soca singer. Do you have plans of spreading soca music, let's say to Africa, the continent of Africa, and teaming up with Afro beats singers, etc.? Like, how are you going to do that fusion, or do you have plans of doing that fusion? Is this the challenge that you probably need?
Let me tell you something. You see that whole vibe where we wanted to, get into the Afro scene and, we're trying to mix the soca to get into the Afro scene. Once upon a time was a good idea. But at this point, is the Africans and they want to get into soca. The
Hmm.
Africans and they want to get into soca and to this vibe. Now I'm telling you, in France at this moment, Bouillon is a run thing. So like even like and Bouillon, there's always the debate of Bouillon and soca is not the same thing, but at the end it's the same tempo. The difference would be more or less the percussions and the expressions in the Buyan music is way different than we could do in the soca scene. Because soca scene, you have a pattern, you have a melody, you have a thing, and it's just that. When in the Buyan music, the music the people them like actually feel the music. So like sometimes you have a keyboard solo just going so and thing, you know what I mean? And them kind of stuff it's different. It's different in that sense. So at this moment, like even in France, like Bouillon music just taking over. Even the big rappers and them see them in the studio trying to do Bouillon now.
Yeah, but the thing of it is that we do have a distinctive sound with our Vinci music. And
Of
I hear you
course.
making reference to the bouillon. But do you think that there is a space for us to remain unique within our music, but still be able to push it out there?
Well, the honest how we're gonna remain unique is if them producers stop doing what they're doing. Just remain unique. Just
Mm,
stick to the roots. That's the honest way. I mean, nobody is saying you can't mix it up, but you can trying to song like you're from Dominica when you're not Dominican, for
mm,
example. Even when you're singing, you cannot song like you're from Dominica and you're not Dominican. You
mm,
see, I come with you will see a family vibe because I living in France. You understand? And to
mm,
entertain that public, when I go on a street and I say see a family, they know what I mean. So they will jump and gan.
mm.
You understand? And to be honest, the crowd over here and the vibe over here is way different too back in the Caribbean, back in St.
Okay, so explain that for me.
Anywhere I go,
Explain
it doesn't matter.
explain that for me. I'm a little curious. Why do you say it's different?
It's very different because it's a mix. You have the
Mm,
white and some black people mix up in the crowd or whatever. But in St. Vincent, and a man like Hans could tell you that. A man like Hans, a man like Magical could tell you that because I give the man a blind in England for Notting Hill Carnival. Notting Hill Carnival is like your phone can't even work when you go there. There's so much people and so much thing in that same spot that you can't work. And if you and somebody rolling in Notting Hill Carnival, if you holding hands going through a crowd, if you leg of that hand, that's it. You mightn't see them until it's done.
mm,
That's how bad it is, right? And so I give them man a vibe and I show them, man, bro, just do your thing, walk the crowd. And it's very simple and easy because all you have to say, anybody from Suriname, the whole play, all you hear, you're seeing
mm,
your head raised because you never hear so much voices in your life.
mm,
You understand? When which is like I come St. Vincent, you perform anything, you give them man a vibe, yo, bam bam bam, wave, do the people ain't really like taking on like that. I mean the
mm.
vibe there, people
Okay.
jumping and getting and the vibe there, but they ain't taking on like that because they ain't listening to you as a performer, they ain't listening to you as a an artist. When
Mm,
which you come over here, Yo, them people don't know your song. You tell them put your knee, everybody on knee. You tell them wave left, everybody wave left. You understand? So it's a
Mm.
different energy. So it can propel you to sell the music more. You understand? Sell it to them more. Like show them what this thing really is. And then when they see that now, they will convince him us. They never been there before. They want to go Grenada, they want to go this place, that place because they like the vibe.
Mm.
You understand? So that's what I'm saying. It's a different vibe. It's totally
Energy.
different.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Well, you just mentioned Magical and Rose, so I know Magical and sorry, so and I know if you have worked with. I'm not sure if you've done any song with Hands, but I know you've done with Magical. Have you worked with any other or with any younger artists? Do you do any sort of mentoring of younger artists?
Um, Not really at the moment. I'm working along with Lexi.
Mm.
You
Okay.
know, Lexi,
Mm.
because Lexi kind of remind me of myself when I was young, when I was growing up. I mean, my first song was written and produced by the man who really bring me on the scene is Rallo. And
Mm.
if you know Rallo from Rose's
Sure,
crew.
that's true. Mhm.
All right, so Rallo is the first man that bring me on the scene, big up Rallo. And I always continue to, you know, to carry on the the legacy of being an artist I always wanted to be, and and now I feel like Lexi kind of stepping into that the vibe of trying to be artist at a young age like that. So yeah, I that's the honest person at the moment. And yeah, I would like to come home and give like master classes and stuff, show people like what to do in terms of like writing and blah blah blah. But then again, it takes time and it takes some money. So I'm not sure if how people might react to that. Um yeah, and in terms of if you say, for example, me and Hans, when Hans was here, Hans was by me, so me and Hans sit down and wrote that spectacular and produced it. So as I say, I show them on the route and give them man a little insight of up here because they never been up here before and never really experienced the thing. So yeah. And yeah, so the artists and them, I ain't really work with too much people like that, like too much
Mhm.
young artists. But if I have something to tell them, it's like, listen, just follow your dreams and don't give up, do your thing, and just make sure you have somebody looking over you in terms of getting your business right and things. Because people, I could tell from experience, you get beat up bad, and then you know it, so you you're
Mhm.
legit, and so yeah.
Yeah, right. So just stemming from what you just said, though, so in terms of other words of encouragement that you would have to artists, because we always have this every year. We have on the ground, we have the conversations about lyrics, right?
Mhm.
You hear somebody singing a song, they drop maybe three lines, a beat drop, and people bounce into it, but there isn't any substance to it, right? And many of these artists, they would like to be able to sing regionally, they like to be able to sing internationally, but they just don't have enough substance behind them. So, what advice would you give to some of these artists who are coming up in terms of their lyrics, right? If they
Mhm.
want to make it big internationally, what other advice could you give to them by way of, in terms of their marketing, in terms of, let's say, getting simple things like getting visas organized, etc., so that they can be able to sing and perform overseas? What other words of advice, given that you've been in the business a while, so you've learned maybe the hard way about certain things. So what can you say?
Well, I to be honest, I can't really give no words of encouragement, because I tried before, and them it's like you and somebody have a conversation and say, "Yo, let me do this because this could make a change, and this would do the thing." And man, yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man, we could do that, we could do that. Bam! When they turn it back, so everybody run and do the same thing that you do before. So it's like it's like people, it's like they're very hungry for it and they can't do without it, and you could just try to make the change. Yeah, you could try to make, and once you make the change, then you'll see a headway. Nobody ever listen. The only thing I could say is put your lyrics properly where you could reach the outer beyond sinners and waters. Because there's a lot of music that come out this year. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. A lot of music that came out this year, and I as a man don't listen radio every day. I don't listen radio. You understand? So I know for sure the DJs them be killing them kind of music, killing them music, and they also killing the artists because then when carnival done, you don't hear that song in Europe, you don't hear that song anywhere else. That's it. The song is finished. I'm singing with some borders, that's it. You might hear it in Beckway Union and Canwan, but that's it. You understand? And that's not gonna last until the end of the year. You feel me? So if they want to do their music and stop doing it mediocre, go all the way. Get a good get your music mixed and mastered properly. You know what I mean? Don't just sing it and throw it because I think no, because then at the end of the day, people watching and people listening. And I ain't talking about just people in general, other artists watching and listening. And then your thing don't make it, but the idea good, and then they go with it, and you can't do nothing because you have no say. You feel me?
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you because this is dangerous. This is like go. And nobody else can go tell you that, nobody else can go come forward and say them things. But I don't care because I tell you, I write my own music, I produce my own music, I record my own self, I do this, so blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
You're not totally dependent on any one
I
person.
depend on nobody, so I don't care what I just say what I say. So
All right. Anything else you want to say? That you want to get
nah, I good.
this is a therapy session for you one time, right?
No, I good. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Be more, you know what I mean? Have your lyrics and them more, sing things that make sense. Sing things that people can relate to. You know what I mean? When I write my music, I write my music to be in tune with the people. You know what I mean? And I guess if you listen to somebody like Problem Child, he always doing the same thing. He writing music that in tune to the people. You feel me? He don't just write music because he could write music. No, he writes things so you could relate to. You could sing. You could say thing. Afraid hand, yeah. You understand?
Something a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not just writing random thing and then when the master and that's it. No, you have to try to and you have to think to it. If you want to be an artist and the corner company in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is very rough because as I say, when Vincy Mas done, that's it for you. If you don't have a good management team or you don't have someone that could actually take your places, that is it for you until next year. You know what I mean? So and you can't live off that little 600-700 you make from couple shows until the end of the year. That's not gonna work for you. So you have to think about streaming, think about how you could get people streaming music and stuff like that.
Curious question though. Do you think that enough artists don't look at soca as a business itself? In terms of many of them just look at it as maybe something they could capitalize on during the carnival season. Many of them have to have other jobs as a result because they're not able to benefit monetarily from that. So do you think enough of them don't look at it as a business, which is why, we sometimes just get what we get?
I think so. I think most artists in Simonson don't look at it as a business and take it serious. What they most likely do is when Vincy Mas coming around, they're gonna record a song, they put it out. But also I cannot blame them because it's very rough to be living in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and do music in general. There's not like a foundation of support. Like for example, in France here, the copywriting companies and them sometimes have supports where they could give you a budget for you to go and get your music done, for example, and thing. Like if you're doing good in like the company I'm signed up with is SASM. If you're doing good in SASM, I haven't put in any applications yet or whatever, but it's these resources are there. And different other thing. Once you have a little label, they give you the money to actually showcase the thing because at the end of the day, this music is reaching elsewhere and it's showing that France doing, you know what I mean? And they take it serious over here. So you have advances. People help you. The companies them help you. They give you maybe a 10,000 euros so to just work on your whole entire album in terms, including music video, your productions, your mixing and masters, and all these things. It depends on your caliber of income from your music. They could help you with that. These stuff is not in place in serious, so it's very hard for the artists and them to have a help. So what they intend to do, they tend to get the music done, and then when carnival done, they back to looking for a job, or they never out of a job, so they keep their jobs and they do this on the side as a means of saying if I get a bus and if it go thing then yeah, but it's not like they're 100% into it.
Yeah.
And because they're not 100% into it. That's why they just, some of them, most time it's just mediocre work. They just say,
Mhm.
yeah, let me just sing a song and see if I'll get you. That's it. That's the reality.
Yeah. All right.
All right. This is a curious question. I think we're coming to the end of the interview. And before I don't get it in, this has nothing to do with your music or anything, but I'm genuinely curious. For Sfara Vincentian, who's been living abroad for so long, why is it you still song so Vincy boy? Most Vincies I know living abroad just not song Vincy anymore, Wetty.
Yeah, but yeah, as I'm saying, yeah, your roots.
I
We're
actually
gonna
love
do.
it.
We're gonna do left your roots. You ever see a Jamaican go anywhere else and song like people?
Mm.
Well, that is it.
That's where we fail. That's where we fail as
I
a
was so
people.
looking forward to hearing a little bit of the French undertone coming out in your speech, but you just sound
No, but no, like speaking French and English at the same time. Sometimes you forget some words that you normally say every day in English. You
Mhm.
forget it because you just automatically flip and you can't remember it in English. You just say it in French. Sometimes that happened to me, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, as I say, you gotta stick to your roots, stick to where you come from, because at the end of the day, as I say, you'll never see a Jamaican going anyway, and people love the Jamaican accent. People want to be like Jamaican.
Mm.
So why people can't want to be like Vincy?
All right, Wetty. So we are going to wrap up this interview, but we are going to leave you with any final thoughts that you wish to share with us. And of course, we want to thank you as well for doing this interview with us, for the words of wisdom that you've passed on, the advice. Somebody said,
Mhm.
as harsh as Wetty may sound, it's very true. All right. So somebody else is also agreeing with you.
Yeah,
But yeah, we also want to thank you for being one of those artists who, if you put that stamp of SVG on your music, and as I said, you could do no wrong for us, right? Maybe one day when you come out with a song that I ain't totally like, I gotta tell you, but so far you have done no wrong, all right? So
true.
congrats to you and much continued success with your career and everything that you do. And I'm hoping that you take on a new challenge, right? Because I kind of getting a little coming out from you, but I hope that you take on a new challenge and see how far you get to go musically. All right.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Thanks. Blessings.
All right. Final words over to you, Wetty.
Well, I really I know. I just like to just encourage the younger artists and them that actually doing this thing. If you want to do it, go full 100. You know what I mean? But as I say, it's very rough to go full 100 in St. Vincent, as you have to look for a job, and it's not like so easy to just get a job because it's kind of rough. But take it serious, take it more serious, because you never know who listening to your stuff. Because if somebody else hear it and they be like, "Yo, I like that artist, the bam," you never know, you could get help. So take your music serious and stop doing mediocre things. Stop singing is just to get your little partner name and the ground going and whatever. When your partner name don't jump up for you, that's it. Think about you as an artist. When your partner name don't jump up for you, your music still flying, still getting streams and stuff like that. That's what you have to think about. You know what I mean? So get your things in order.
All
That's all I have to say.
right. That's all. Well,
Mhm.
that's enough as well.
So I tell you what, my final question. So
Oh, I think somebody trying to
You
call.
take
We
it.
could take the call because I
Okay.
guess it's to speak to Wetty. All right. So Wetty, we have a caller. Hi, caller. Good morning. Queens.
Yeah. Quick question. What did you get to perform in New York as yet? America.
No, I didn't get to perform in New York as yet, and there's where my fan base really is. To be honest, like the top of the list of streaming and stuff, there is where
You
my
still
fan
working
base
on
is.
that visa, man?
Still working on that visa,
Working on that
but
visa still?
I mightn't get because your boy Trump. Mhm.
Hey, Vice Cartel and Benny Man and Bounty Kill and Buju Banton, they're more lucky than you, man.
They're lucky. They're more lucky than me.
Yeah.
I want to tell
Yeah.
Good luck. Bye-bye.
Bless man. Thanks.
Not
Man, yeah,
Queens
man.
talking about Cartel and Buju getting anyways. All right, so Wetty, we're gonna let you go at this time. We know that you're very busy, very, very, very busy. But of course, again, thank you for taking the time out to be with us this morning.
Yeah,
And who
man,
knows, we probably might touch base again with you either end of the year or next year. Who knows?
Never know.
All right.
It is what it is. Whenever you guys ready, I'm here. I'll always be available. All right.
Cool. Later, have a good one. And guess what we're going out with?
Wicked.
I don't tell you I don't want no problems. Later on we will solve it. As for now, yo, return. Let me sing this one. Later. We will fix this argument later. Later. Right now my vibes are
Blessings.
Later.
We will fix them dancers later. So as for now, I just watch them on the bumper right there. Not the up for the whole day. You know it's me outside, you get just lively. Drinking on no chaser. Give me the exclusive. It's me and the team outside, Watch the tone in your voice, mama. No, it's not the time for that. If it's not a vibe, then I don't want it around me. If you